One of the greatest gifts that deconstructing spirituality has given me was the permission to explore God without fear or condemnation. I'm going somewhere with this, so give me a second. Hear me out. This has greatly expanded how I both perceive God and in turn how I perceive myself through God. I had this like epiphany, this revelation. God is like the physical body, right? If you imagine God as a body, inside of the body, it is made up of all sorts of atoms and cells and hair follicles and fingers and toenails and organs and blood and veins and all of these intricate things that make up the whole. The many make up the one, if that makes sense. This is how I've come to understand and make peace with what God is, right? God is the body and we are the cells. And even religious text supports this. Even science supports the idea that the universe mirrors itself. It reflects itself. I like to think of it like the Russian nesting dolls, right? Like how every time you open one, another one is inside of it and they all reflect one another. It goes from the most simplest to the most complex. And that's how I perceive both God and the universe. I say all of that to say that when I am looking for answers that feel too complex or mysterious for me, I tend to simplify it by looking for its mirror in simpler things. Just like God is the body and we are, the makeup of the body, the same is true for Earth. Every living thing on this planet is the makeup of the Earth body. In its natural flowing state, every part of the Earth body helps and contributes to keeping the Earth safe and healthy, except whiteness. Whiteness operates like a cancer to Earth. And let me start by saying I am not talking about white people. I am talking about the construct of whiteness. I don't claim to be an expert in cancer or how cancer works, but I do know some things. And what I know is that typically cancer shows up when the natural rhythm and flow of the body is disrupted. When our bodies are thrown out of balance by doing things like introducing foreign things to our skin or ingesting foreign things that were not meant for our body. And this creates a pathway of sorts. Like it's like these foreign things that don't belong in our body, they serve as some sort of activation that transforms the cell into something harmful. What I'm saying is that this made up concept and construct of whiteness disrupts and throws off the natural rhythm of the planet. It has completely flipped the natural order of the planet, therefore inviting in this insidious energy to take hold of the planet, right? And much like cancer, it will do anything in its power to survive, even if it means destroying the entire body. I'm gonna move in closer and say it again. Cancer, in the construct of whiteness, is only interested in its own survival, even if it means destroying the entire body, including itself. Now, imagine if cancer had the ability to communicate to all of these other cells around it and convince it that it did not have any value and that fighting it would be fruitless. And imagine if those cells acquiesced and gave in. This would mean that cancer would have to work way less in order to maintain power. This is whiteness. It is many of us who are fueling the power of whiteness by simply refusing to explore who we naturally are and believing what it tells us we are. And testaments that I have read of people, survivors of cancer, oftentimes what I hear is that they did not buy in to the cancer. They didn't become the cancer. If we have any chance of surviving this cancer, we're going to have to, as a collective, decide that we do not buy it. We're not buying in. We don't believe you. We don't care what you try to show us. That reflection that you're showing us is skewed. It does not actually represent the truth, as opposed to trying to fight fire with fire. But a lot of times it's the radiation that kills the patient and not the cancer itself, right? And I'm saying that what that radiation would look like for us is trying to match hate with hate. It's not going to work. I can't even say that it's not going to work. Maybe it would work, but if it did, what state would it leave the body in? Becoming the cancer to kill the cancer is counterproductive because the cancer does not identify with the body. It thinks it's better than the body, so it seeks to colonize it. And I'm suggesting that we take a more homeopathic route to annihilating the cancer that is the construct of whiteness. And what is the natural route for us? The natural route is joy. The natural route is bliss. It is bliss as an act of rebellion. The natural route is community. It is love. I mean the real kind of love, not performative and not transactional. The natural route is gratitude and charity. It's creativity. It is peace, not war, peace. The construct of whiteness is something that absolutely negatively impacts every single living being on this planet. And when you decide to align yourself with whiteness, the construct, you align yourself with cancer. You latch yourself to it. That is how cancer multiplies itself. White people don't have to be white. That is a choice that you make, right? You are Italian, you are English, you are Polish, you are German, you're European. You don't have to be white. White is a construct that you are choosing to exist in. Whiteness is made up, right? Which means that it can't sustain itself on its own. It literally has to co-opt and colonize other things in order to stay alive. And this might trigger some of y'all's cognitive dissonance, but just consider what I'm saying. Africa is the heart of Mother Earth. And if you annihilate the heart, then the entire body will die. That's all I'm saying.